Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Plus, we've had some like stellar runs, some wacky, some zany, a little kooky, and a lot of laughs. I don't know where I was going with that. Yo, this is incredible. TTCK, 8JKR. This is like, first off, we got the Elsa hair. Secondly, great damage. Rate of fire is fine. We have enough HP that we can actually use our spacebar item, which is not common. And our spacebar item is actually pretty sick. So I think we want to... You got to be careful with this. We really want to make sure we get the items, so we'll pop this down and put that right next to it. And we probably could have gotten the extra bomb out of it, but it is what it is, right? So honestly, you're going to have to work somewhat hard to convince me to give up too much HP here. I would much rather just regen our HP as much as possible. Oh my god, we got a luck upgrade as well. And use that as leverage for Razor Blade or Blood Rights. Because that's not a razor blade, it's a switchblade. Look, I don't know knives. Some of the people watching this, you were the kid in school who loved knives, or you were the kid in school who loved fire. I hope that, you know... I mean, I have friends that I'm sure were the knife guy. I don't know about the fire guy. I'm hoping you're well-adjusted in your adulthood, and I'm hoping that, you know, it's a hobby that you continue to have without any troubling connotations, you know what I mean? I don't think being the knife guy necessarily makes you a danger to society. But it wasn't for me. Sometimes people in, you know, on the school bus, they'd be like, hey, check out this sick knife I got. And I was like, cool, dude, you're 13. Why do you have a why do you have a knife with a bone hilt? That just seems... we're living different lives, let's put it that way. What do you got for me here today? That's extremely nice. That could have been dangerous for sure. And that's also bad, but with Blood Rights, not so bad. So I gotta tell you, right off the get-go today, I just recorded the final episode of at least our first run-through of Frostpunk. And I gotta tell you, dude, that game is great. I know everybody already knows this because of the fact that it came out like 2 years ago and is extremely, you know, well-liked. But I just, like, especially while I was playing it, I was like, man, what a master stroke. And I use that term somewhat ironically, I guess, because it's a little bit overwrought. But what a master stroke of, like, colony simulator design. Because most colony simulators don't really have, like, an ending, you know? Like, Factorio does, but it takes a long, long time to get there. At least if, you know... I know some of you out there watching this are like, well, I can do it in, like, 8 hours. Okay, cool. You know? I'm not even mad. If I'm mad, I'm only mad at the fact that you're so good that you make the rest of us look like idiots, you know? This is the kind of guy they like, you know, they work all day as like a software developer and then they come home and they're like, what do I want to do? Optimize production of drones so that I can, you know, unlock the ability to program my way off of this freaking island. Worth a shot. Worth a shot. Anyway, I don't begrudge you. I'm just jealous, honestly. But like RimWorld, you know, even stuff like Project Coaster, like it doesn't really have like an ending, right? You just kind of, like Project Coaster for me ended when the frame rate got bad because they, you know, if you had over 400 people inside of your theme park, the engine just couldn't handle it. And then like RimWorld has always ended for me when it was just like, okay, like, you know, I'm dead. Or like I'm just bored, you know? Not to say RimWorld is boring. Any game gets boring after enough time, but like, you know, RimWorld is an amazing game. Probably a lot of people's pick for like the best game in that genre. And I was like, man, it's so much... Like, I've finished the first... and I know there's a bunch of scenarios. But I finished the first scenario in like 14 hours. No, sorry, the opposite. Well, not the opposite, just half of that. 14 episodes. As I finished it in like 7 to 8 hours. Which to me is like, yo, that's the perfect amount of time. Like a nice little appetizer course of a survival game. Which, to be honest with you, is really all I want most of the time. So I consider this my recommendation for Frostpunk, if you haven't played it yet. It's also one of those rare games that's actually, it's on console as well, and I believe it's available on Game Pass. So it's like, it's really the perfect time if you're interested. Trust me, I'm not shilling for the product. I don't have to, you know, its success speaks for itself. That being said, I found myself very impressed with that game. I had a great time playing it. Anyway, for now, let's talk about Isaac. Where are we at in this run? I'll take it. I don't mind. It's not great, but I'll take it. I think we're in a pretty solid spot, you know? We're making amazing time, which is basically entirely due to blood rights. And both Sack Dagger and the Pentagram are very solid pickups. Of course, you know, if there's a problem... I'm glad we got that out of the way quickly. If there's a problem with blood rights, it's that it takes a lot of gas, you know, from an HP standpoint to keep it going. We actually have other problems as well, like our speed is pretty low. But I think that all in all, the run is like really, really well equipped. All we need, let's look at the, like honestly, most runs in Isaac do not find themselves in the position where you're gonna be comfortable sack-towning a bunch of red hearts, simply because you're not gonna have that many red heart containers. So it's unlikely blood rights is gonna be like our game-winning item, but it's a really, really nice quality of life improvement for the time being, for sure. Like, just being able to do that, we probably should have saved it for this room. But just being able to do that is nice, you know? To do that. IGGY. I do need to issue a correction, by the way. A few Isaac episodes ago, I asked, what was Iggy Azalea thinking when she wrote the lyric, got the whole world X'in' how I does that? I do need to issue a correction. She does not say X'in'. She says, got the whole world askin' how I does that. Now, the spirit of the bit remains the same. It's still kind of a comical line coming from Iggy Azalea. However, I do need to point out that there was a factual error. And if I'm going to be a serious journalist, which is what I've always aspired to be in this role that you see before me, or you see me before you in today, dude, I've been thinking about language a lot because I've been learning Korean. And sometimes I'm like, learning a language is absurd. If you learned, and I mean, I learned English as a child. I consider myself lucky, right? But if you learned your second language or third or fourth or, you know, eighth language as a child, you're so lucky. You put in the work, don't get me wrong, but I know it's like neuroplasticity. I don't even mean it like that. I just mean that, like, you got it started at the right time. Like, I was writing a tweet today because it's Valentine's Day, and I think, you know, it's nice, you know, Kate and I have like our own Valentine's Day stuff that we do, but at the same time, I was like, you know, I should tweet like, hey, happy Valentine's Day to my lovely wife. And then I thought about the next sentence, and I was like, without whose support, you know, I wouldn't be, you know, where I'm at professionally. You wouldn't get half of the videos that you get on a daily basis because of the stuff that she does behind the scenes, you know, in keeping the house maintained and, you know, keeping my mental state in a good spot so that, you know, I can actually work, you know, throughout the day. But I was like, without whose support? Does that even make sense? It's the only language I speak, and I've been speaking it for, you know, 30 years. And I still was like, without whose support? Does that make sense? And I tried to, like, reverse engineer the sentence. What the heck does that mean? Without whose? Without whose? And I'm like, okay, so whose is possessive. So it is, I'm saying without her support, it wouldn't have been possible. But I was just trying to think about how I would teach that to a student of English, you know? I hate to say, I know we just sacked the spirit heart there. In my world, that's worth it for that room. But I hate to say it, but when I was teaching English, and let me just tell you, when I was teaching English in Korea, I don't know if maybe it's changed. I keep talking as if like this is how it is, but it was 10 years ago, so I don't know. It might have changed a lot. I think a lot more people are doing it, which honestly probably has raised the barrier to entry for teachers, I think. But basically, you just had to have a degree in any subject, like a 4-year degree from a university, and speak English fluently in order to take the job. You didn't have to have any teaching experience. And moreover, this might strike you as a little cynical, but I think it was considered almost an implicit advantage to not have teaching experience or have been to a teacher's college, for example, or get a Con Ed degree or something like that, which is, Con Ed is concurrent education. It's just what we called it in Ontario. So the degree you get to become a teacher. But it was considered, I think, almost like an unspoken disadvantage, because to be honest, if you were qualified to teach, you wouldn't have accepted the working conditions and salary that the people who were underqualified like myself did. But a lot of the time, especially you get into the more intermediate and like advanced level classes, kids would be like, teacher, why is like, I think we should stick with this. You know, why do we say this and not this? Why is this pronounced this, but this word that's spelled almost exactly the same is pronounced differently? And you just gotta hit them with the, I don't know. The honest answer is that, one of the words is probably taken from, like, French, and then one of the words is probably taken from, a different language. So, they're pronounced differently because even though they're spelled the same, they have different origin points. But, there's no way I could possibly know that because I've taken literally 0 linguistics class in my entire life. So instead you say, it's just one of those things you gotta memorize. It's unfortunate. But, I mean, here's the thing, right? If English is so bad, why haven't we invented English too? You know what I mean? Isn't that what Farsi is? Am I losing my mind? I thought Farsi was invented as a modern language that's like got streamlined design and relatively easy to learn. I might be wrong. It might not be Farsi. It might be something else. Let me look at this. Farsi. It's Google Assistant. It's a Persian language, a Western Iranian language. When was it invented? That's what I'm... History, please. Oh, wow. It's a continuation of Middle Persian. Language deliberately designed in the modern era. That's what I'm looking for now. Doublespeak? Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, apparently I've been lied to or misled or misremembering something I've learned in my life. I thought there was a language that was invented to be easy to learn. But the reason that people don't speak it largely is because of the fact that you're like, well, I already speak one language. I think it's really... You don't want to be like the second or third person that buys into a language, right? You want to... if people are thinking about like new languages to learn, very few people are like, oh, for my second language, I'd like to, learn this... Inuit dialect that's only spoken by like 45 people in the entire world right now, because it's, I think, by the way, I'm not knocking it. It's really cool to preserve language like that, for one, because you got all these like cultural artifacts that, if you lose the language, you kind of lose access to the ability to access, potentially thousands of years of history. But most people are like, French. Or you're like, Mandarin. A lot of people speak that. Or you're like, Spanish. Or you're like, Japanese. Look, I know the most common ones. Very few people are like... I mean, I'm not saying Farsi is not spoken by many people, I just looked it up. It has 90 million speakers. I mean, it's high. It's 3 times as many people as live in Canada. I'm suggesting, if we invented a new language, even if the language was amazing, easy to learn, spelling was exactly intuitive at all times, you would probably be... I mean, I know I would be like, I'm not learning it. If 100 million people learn it, maybe I'll consider it. If it's only gonna be, Spoken by me and 6 other dudes in the mailroom? No thank you. No thank you. I would rather... There's better uses of my time. Gotta be honest. I was not hoping to get HP here. We have slowed down a lot. And I'm hoping this is our item room, and it is not. Enemies are not dying as quickly to the blood rights anymore. If I could turn back time. Yeah, I know. Whitney Houston. If I could turn back time, I would almost certainly go with Krampus's head. Because I think at this point, we're probably not using blood rights more than 1 every 6 rooms to begin with. Just because it has unlimited charges doesn't mean we're, you know, using unlimited charges. Obviously, we have to go to our item room as well. I don't think we're in a bad spot. I'll tell you, you know, one thing that would go a long way is a speed upgrade. Just to be straight up with you. A speed upgrade would change our world a little. That's good too. We have gotten a luck upgrade. Maybe 2 luck upgrades now that I think about it. Anyway, that's the necessary daily crap on English sort of, you know, I like to bring it up a lot. Because I do think, I mean, this is like programmer humor, I guess, or software developer humor, which I'm not qualified to touch upon, to be honest with you. But maybe that gives me the unique advantage of possibly making it funny for the first time ever. But it really is like, you would never design deliberately like English. At the same time, you might be saying, well, if you hate English so much, why don't you stop speaking it? It's a little bit reductive, for one. But secondarily, I love the English language, and I think the intricacy of it allows for such beauty to come to pass. Like, so much, I'm sure this is true in almost every language, or maybe literally all aspects of human communication. So much communication in English is done between the lines, you know? How are you doing? You could say, not too bad. I mean, now, I'm not trying to stress that this is English exclusive, but you could be like, not too bad. People will be like, that means they're doing great. If you said, not too bad, people would be like, oh, he's having a bad day, but he's trying to hold it together. And then if somebody said, not too bad, you would be like, this is an alien trying to pass off as a human being. I need to alert NASA immediately. I'm just going to level with you. I don't know who you call. If there's something strange in your neighborhood and it's not a ghost. Well, not what we were looking for there, it's fair to say. I don't know who you call if you've got a suspected alien infestation. You know who you're probably going to call is some whack job radio host. But who you should call, I don't know. Nobody's going to believe you. If movies are to be believed, nobody will believe you when you make that call. So I don't blame you. In this hypothetical scenario. for doing whatever you gotta do. I hate that there's 2 champions here, I'll tell you that. Dry Baby is honestly starting to be worth its weight in gold here. No, it's starting to be worth its weight in freaking, you know, lithium. Platinum. Isn't platinum it's like a precious resource because of components in smartphone manufacture? Look, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've spent the last decade doing what you see me doing right now, okay? I'm not an authoritative source on anything except managing, you know, your life while streaming and YouTubing, which is why I talk about it more than I probably should. I haven't even been grocery shopping that much. The grocery anecdotes have really fallen off. Started going to a nicer grocery store. Started encountering a lot less zaniness. So now I'm paying more, and I'm earning less, because my stories are worse. It's really, it's bad in both directions. Let's give this a shot. 2 of hearts. It might take us back to full HP. It did take us back to full HP. Obviously, we don't need car battery. So what's my thinking right now? We're gonna, in all likelihood, get a deal with the devil. This is not the right floor to use, or not the right room, I should say, to use any of your charges or any of your HP 4 charges. You really just want to get in here. I don't even think we want to play that Demon Judgment. That's a little much. The items are bad. If the items were good, I probably wouldn't have done this. I think that's where we're going to stop for the record, just because I don't know where my HP is. And then we are going to look in here. Aura is pretty good. Invincibility's not really. I think we got to go Aura. It is going to hurt. But we should have more than enough Spirit Hearts right now. Yeah, HP is not bad. So we really... Oh, does that... Sorry, Aura is compromised, isn't it? It's compromised by, Blood Rights. But then again, we can use Blood Rights to, you know, get off of a bad Aura without taking meaningful damage if we want to. Then again, we could just get hit. Apparently that's more likely than I originally gave it credit for, so. Another luck upgrade. You love to see it when you got Gimpy. Don't really think we want to do that. Our Aura is damage again. I don't think we should swap out of that one unless we feel like we know we're going to get hit on a room, then we should do it. Yo, Gimpy is coming through in the freaking clutch, dude. Like, this room, easy. I'm guilty of being a little bit lazy with the way that I was using, Blood Rights earlier. Now's the time to really be like, is this a room that's worth using it? Whoa! This is not. Although it would be tempting. It would be tempting. Slash is tempting. Sorry, it just requires 100% focus from me to not walk into these things. It's not my strong suit. I don't need the key. We could get it, but we don't need it. This room, I'm just going to level with you. I think we're likely to be hit, so I think you'd take your opportunity on that one. This one, I walked into some damage, but Halo of Flies protected me. And I still don't know what our bonus is right now. I think that we've demonstrated, like, right here, we're capable of holding this run together pretty consistently, on this floor at least. And Gimpy was honestly, like, a great pickup, but is even better now. Like, I feel like a fool for not mentioning it earlier for its true strengths. So the idea is, it's very simple. You do a little gut check at the start of a room. This time I just did it. I didn't think I would get hit, but I also don't want a range aura. I think that's justifiable to a huge degree. You go, are we gonna get hit? If the answer is plausible, why not press the space bar, take out all the enemies, and then you're losing red heart instead of a spirit heart. Easy money. Okay. I like the damage aura. To be honest, I like the tears aura more most of the time. And we could even, like, be persuaded to be alright with the speed aura. Just gonna be honest, this room I just don't like. Because I do not like it. We'll tackle it thusly. I can wait. I can wait on this one. We got our damage aura back anyway. Please just let me go. Don't be a monster. We already don't know where we're going. We've seen remarkably few dead ends. I'm just begging you for the slightest bit of mercy. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't make me do it. I just wanna play the game. I just wanna go to rooms that I haven't been to before and engage in the systems for which the game became famous. Okay, we're alright. We're out. And dude, honestly, Dry Baby works really well with Blood Rights as well. You know, they both do AoE damage that's not quite enough to get, you know, enemies killed by itself, but thank you, Dry Baby. This is extremely nice. I'm thinking about popping some blood rights down, for sure. It only takes half a heart? Am I dying? Has it only taken half a heart the whole time? If so, I am basically an idiot. I am a fool. I don't think we want... I don't... Okay, fine. I'm gonna take Death's List. We obviously don't need... we don't need anything that affects our speed, I'll tell you that much. Or is aided by our speed. However, I'm like, you know what? With Death's List... I bet some rooms, if we just press the spacebar, we will get a reward. That might be a little ambitious. But I'm feeling ambitious, because for the first time in forever, I can actually see the freaking map. You love to see it? Not just the map, you love to see this whole shebang. That doesn't count? In my world, that counts, but that's okay. Luck upgrades, please. I feel, honestly, like, really lucky. We've had very, very fun runs so far on this, like, it's not really a streak, but, you know, on the last few videos of Eden Run specifically, I think we've had a really, you know, a disproportionate amount of really, really interesting runs. Don't spawn. Don't spawn them! We did it anyway, and we got a permanent speed upgrade. Let's go. Oh, dude. Such good crowd control here, too. We deserve that deal with the devil. We've managed this run quite well. I honestly think we take this. I don't think we take the other one. I think we're... piercing shots will be fine, but I think... I respect Death's List, especially in conjunction with Gimpy here. I think we got a really good thing going. And now we've got, well, I guess we had it before, to be honest, but we got some invincibility potential. I see it. I see it. Don't think that I don't see it, dude. You would be mistaken. I know we didn't get one of them, but... my thinking right now is, you know, we can afford to sack the occasional Spirit Heart. Probably right now. There's a good example of that. Is it the right play? Oh, it's like... I mean... Can I be honest with you? Or are you gonna make fun of me? I kind of think it is the right play. If we're not gonna lose anyway, why not? It's my 2 cents. It is taking a full heart. So I don't know what I was looking at earlier, where it only took a half heart. Maybe we have an item that halves the amount of damage you take after you've taken damage once. Does Purity do that on top of what it already does? That would be staggering. And this, I'm realizing now, we're just like so overpowered as a result of Gimpy, along with everything else. Yeah, this is essentially completely over. Hey, actual speed, dude. So I have no fear about just running in there. It's weird to say, but it does feel like we have infinite HP. Obviously not on a literal level, but on a figurative level. The more damage we take, the stronger we become. And you are toasted to an absurd degree. Yeah, I mean, we've had some really, really interesting runs lately. This one, we almost never, in my long and illustrious Isaac career, have ever... I said career, not my Isaac rear, just for the record. We don't show that on YouTube. That's a Patreon exclusive. Lusty Blood is also going to be insanely great for us. I think. We've almost never used blood rights for this long. And to this level of effect. So, I really, like, for me, I look at this and I'm like, dude. What an exciting kind of run that we have here. This doesn't happen all that often. / ever. Bloody Lust, great pickup. Dude, I'm losing it right now. I'm loving life. I forgot we can use blood rights when we're invincible too, to just spam it. There's so much about this item I've never thought to know. There you go. Well, that room added a lot to the conversation. Oh yeah, you are you are unbelievably toasted. Only bound by the refresh rate of our keyboard. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. For now, thanks for watching. That was a really fun one. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. See ya!